dándole, caminando por el mundo del rey. Toda la cosa que he encontrado, todo el amor obsesionado, vida por la línea de la costa.
Hello and welcome to Patuan. So Patuan is this little town that's about, I'd say, about 20 minutes away from Uruapan, was where we mostly live, and this is where they make the Charanda ancestral. We're here with the Pacheco family, and to be honest, the fact that we've spending a lot of time in Uruapan, we become friends with a lot of them, and we got invited to come here to the distillery where they make the Charanda ancestral. I think they make the herbal here too, and also their new Charanda gin. And we're here with Fabian Lepe, who is like the beverage director at Calde, which is literally one of the best restaurants in the world. They're on the top 50 best restaurants in the world list, and he's doing a takeover at the Charanda bar here, and then he came to see the production and everything too. And I want to take you guys with us. They're actually crushing some sugarcane. We're gonna crush our own sugarcane. We're also gonna harvest our own sugarcane, and I'm gonna take you guys around, and as always, just show how the process of making charanda is. Right here, this is the cañaveral, which is where the sugarcane grows. You see all behind me here, these are all sugarcane. And a little history too, most people, when they think about Michoacan, they think avocados, right? But before all that, there was actually sugarcane. So sugarcane got spread out to the world from Cuba, and it made its way all the way here to Michoacan. So back in the day, in the 1800s, most of the plantations here in Michoacan were from sugarcane. But of course, as the industry grew, avocados came, now mezcal came. So there's not a lot of sugarcane, especially compared to what it was. They were saying there was tens of thousands of acres with sugarcane. Now there is a lot less than that. One of the cool things too is, one, Charanda is women owned and women made. Lupita, we're gonna meet her here. She is the distiller for Charanda, and Medium Pacheco, who's literally the nicest person I ever meet. She is the owner of the brand. And Medium really cares about sugarcane, of course. So she recently brought back the caña morada to this part of Michoacan, and now they have a charanda with it as well. So they're doing awesome things, and I want to just share with you guys as we walk through here and see their vinata. It's a very, very still ancestral way to make charanda. They use Filipino stills with tree trunks, and the way they crush the sugarcane is also water powered. I'm gonna show you guys that right now. So before I show you that, let's talk about what charanda is. And it's essentially a sugarcane spirit that can only be made in 16 municipalities in the state of Michoacan. It has one of the smallest denominations of origins in the world, and it can be made either the agricole style with the sugarcane juice, or it can also be made with molasses or the piloncillo. So we walked around the cañaveral as their family explained all this to us, and then we got to start harvesting our own sugarcane. A little fact about me, my uncle was a sugarcane farmer in Brazil, so growing up I would go to his place and I would cut down my own sugarcane at the age of 4, and eating sugarcane is one of my favorite things ever. I got to harvest my own. Fabian did it as well, and then we ran over to start crushing and juicing the sugarcane. And let me show you how this works. It's all water powered. There's this little stream that runs on top of the vinata, and they've built this little path to guide it down and to fall into this mill and get it going. It's honestly pretty incredible to see it working in person. We each crushed our own sugarcane just to see how it works, really. When they're actually juicing a lot, the juice all falls through this strainer pretty much, right? And with gravity, it travels down to the stainless steel tanks. Depending on the weather, it starts to ferment before reaching this tank. It's crazy. After the stainless steel tanks, they're moved to these wooden barrels, and that's where they're left to ferment. Just look how active this is. It smells so sweet, and to me, it tastes pretty good too. When it's done fermenting, they place it in copper bowls and with the Filipino truck on top, and it passes through this refrescador and down into these pots. This one right here is the puntas of the first distillation, but it's also distilled twice. So for the second distillation, the same process is done. These little drops here are the tails of the second distillation. After all that, we chilled for a bit because it gets so hot and humid over here. We had some agua fresca with a little piquete, of course. That's a little splash of alcohol in Mexico, by the way. And we got to talking all about charanda and the industry and what's happening with it. Lupita also showed us some experiments that she's doing, like infusing things with cilantro and mango and different herbs. I love all that. After that, we took another long walk as they were showing us all the mango trees that were growing in the area that help with the wild yeast for fermentation. We got to see a little baby sugar canes growing as well. And that's pretty much how you make charanda ancestral. And now we're back in Uruapan where they make the industrial charanda, which is in this area right here, which we're gonna go there right now. So these tanks right here next to us on both sides, there and there, are all huge fermentation tanks. I'm talking about like, you know, 4,000 liters or more. So I'll show you guys inside of them. And this one right here next to us is actually has, no, not that one. We're gonna go down right here. This one right here has active fermentation right there. I'm not speeding up any of the videos. That active fermentation you see moving around, it's just the sugars working their thing, the yeast eating the sugars and farting out alcohol. So like I said, this is the industrial line. There are the huge tanks of fermentation we just talked about, and these are the column stills. And column stills just like basically redistill the spirit over and over again, you know? And we got to even do like a little finger taste test from the distillation. But they also make the artisanal line here. And we're gonna go check out that right now really quick too. They have 3 stills where they make the Charanda Artisanal, they make the agricole Charanda there too. And then this here is the fermentation of the Artisanal or the artisanal line. Look at how active this is. I never get tired of seeing this active fermentations. I love it. And this is distilled twice in copper. There are 2 stills here. This here coming out are the puntas of the second distillation at around 7 ABV. And yes, I tried it and it's delicious. So now we are in the bottling facility and I'm gonna show you guys how they bottle the Charanda. Right now they're bottling the blue version with sugarcane on it. You can find that in the US too, I believe. I'm gonna show you guys how they're doing that at the bottling facility. And now that we know how both of those are made, we're gonna check out the aging room, their bodega, where all the barrels are at. And there's different barrels of everything, which is really fun.
Vamos a pasar a la cava de Casa Tarasco Spirits. Bienvenidos. Pásenle.
And this here is the cava at El Tarasco Spirits. El Tarasco Spirits is the parent company of Charanda Uruapan. And Charanda can be aged in pretty much any barrel. So there's a little bit of everything here. There was French oak, American oak, wine barrels, cognac barrels, and yes, even a cachaça barrel that let's just hope it'll turn into something delicious pretty soon. So maybe that's gonna be a special release right there. Let's just leave it at that. And they have the samples from all the barrels labeled in these little glass bottles. And honestly, we could spend a week here and not go through it all. It's just such an awesome time. I love the smell and the feel, that humidity as, you know, spirit and wood are working together. I love that. And we walked around the cava looking for all the barrels and recognizing lots of different names here. Like shout out to El Gallo, one of my favorite bars in the world. The whole Fortaleza crew has been here too. The Mezcalistas teams has been here. And I've been saying that rum is the next big thing in the US because, you know, it's already been the big thing all over the world. But Charanda is definitely helping making that happen, and I love that, you know? I love Charanda, puro Michoacan. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, comment, like, share, and all the good stuff. Y salucita, y nos vemos.